The 3-second feedback model. How to explode player development. My name's Jerry McNamara. I'm the creator of SoccerClassroom.com. I've been a player, coach, and administrator since as long as I can remember. And for the past 20 years, I've spent my business career working in retail and on the manufacturing side within soccer, and really have a good grasp and handle on soccer across the country. I built Soccer Classroom to help our volunteer moms and dads, coaches. We focus on age-appropriate, holistic player development to create fun, positive environments for our players. After all, it's all about the kids. Player feedback. It's really important to give player feedback, and there's a number of reasons why. Here we think are the most important ones. Immediately, it provides a where I stand knowledge. I think all players want to know why they started one game and why they've been benched the next, why they're getting more playing time one week than another. So it gives you that opportunity to let a player know exactly where they stand. Also, it provides the opportunity for correction and improvement. Certainly, if we don't give players feedback, they won't know exactly what they should be doing and how they can improve. It also provides a goal that can energize and focus the player. If we can give them a task and a challenge that they can rise up to, that certainly is fun and interesting and keeps the game challenging for the player. And all of these things translate into it's great for morale. Players that know where they stand, that are developing and are energized by their goals equals happier players, more energized players, players that are going to develop faster. Player feedback, why it's not happening. I think a lot of coaches would agree that it's a good idea to do feedback. Well, we just don't quite get to it. So we have overburdened coaches. So many of us are volunteer coaches. And between training sessions and communicating and directions and player infractions and dealing with parents, we just don't get to this important critical step. It's too time intensive. Most people conceive player feedback as sitting down and giving a player a full report on left foot, right foot, trapping, shooting, tactical, you name it. We don't think it has to be that hard. Some people aren't sure how to do it. They've never done it before, and giving feedback can certainly be a little bit of a daunting process. Which brings us to another point where people are concerned about feelings. What happens if I tell players that what they're doing is not right out on the field? Maybe that'll get them down. And for even some coaches, it's more hassle than it's worth. We've created a solution called the 3-second feedback. And it really kind of blends the immediacy for feedback and also gives you a platform, a 3-step approach to giving your players feedback in a timely manner. So it starts with a positive point. It says, I really like that you've been doing whatever that positive point is for the player. And it can be any aspect of their game. It can be tactical, it can be a skill, it can be their leadership. Whatever it is, it just starts with a positive point. The second point is the feedback point. And it's an area where I've seen you've been struggling is whatever that point is. And you have to give a specific example. So I see this particularly when, and then provide the specific example, and that'll make it concrete for the players so they know exactly when that happened. And then just as with anything, you need the feedback sandwich, so put the positive point on the backside as well. Now, while you've been working on whatever the feedback point is, I want you to continue whatever the positive point is to help the team accomplish and tie that back to the team goals. So let's go and give this as an example. So my positive point might look like this. I really like that you've been communicating on the field. It's helped the team defend more effectively. That's a perfect positive point. The feedback point is an area where I've seen you've been struggling is turning players to the outside. This weekend, number 19 kept turning to the middle and really became dangerous. We need to force those forwards out wide. So I've given them the feedback point, and I've also been specific to give them exactly when it happened so it's tangible for them. And then the third piece is the positive point. Now, while you're working on forcing players wide, I want you to continue communicating so we're organized back there. It really helps keep us solid. So again, I've tied all of those things back, and it's easy, simple, and effective. Now here's a key point, which is week 2. How do you tie all of this together in week 2? And it's the same format, but how you tie this together just allows it to continue to build week after week. So let's just run through this quickly. Last week we talked about whatever last week's feedback point was, which is turning players to the outside, and you tie the player back in here. How do you think you did in addressing that aspect? The player is going to give you some feedback, and you can say, great, I see they've been working on it, or yes, we need to continue to make that a focus point. Now, something I want to bring your attention to where I need your help is, again, the feedback point. And I saw this whenever you saw the specific example to make it concrete again. And then the positive points. And let's keep thinking about striving forward on whatever the feedback point is from week 1. So let's continue to work on defending players wide as they come down the center of the field, while you're also working on whatever the feedback point is for week 2. So we're always looking to grow and develop. I want you to continue to communicate in the back. You're our best player that does that to do that, which will help the team, again, tie back to the goals, which makes the process more important than just the player. So that's accountability and responsibility. Now that we know how to give the feedback, it's important to know when to give the feedback. Certainly you should not do it during the match. Let's let the game play out. During a match, there's too much going on. A player isn't going to get it. You can certainly give corrective actions, but the 3-second feedback is not going to work during the match. After game day via email, this is my personal favorite. I always look at the end of the week's testing period. You had your match on Saturday and Sunday. That's your testing period. We evaluate players just like you would taking a test. And you start the week with a time to start fresh. Another really effective time, if you don't have time to do that at the week's end via email, is the start of the next practice as players start to show up. Easy and simple to do that right during the beginning of practice or as you do water breaks, but it's important that you hit all your players as you go through that practice. Now, employing simple, easy 3-second feedback improves morale, energizes players, and ensures development. Now, we certainly think it's worth the 3 seconds. Don't you? You can find additional information by visiting our site, which is soccerclassroom.com, or you can join the community at facebook.com/soccerclassroom. We hope you've enjoyed the 3-second feedback model.